Hello there YouTube, this is Peter. I'm a web developer and the business owner of company WebACA. We are a Pennsylvania-based web development company, but we take on projects all over the United States and Canada, and sometimes even abroad. So this is going to be another tutorial video. What we're going to be doing is we are going to be creating a blog for a website like this. As I mentioned previously in different videos that I have done previously, websites, they usually consist of specific blocks, and we can divide a website structure into specific elements that can be potentially reused in future. This is a block that we have not made previously, and we do not have a structure for it, so that's what we're going to be creating. And by the way, when it comes to blogs, we do have a library of different blocks that we have built. You can see it within our website, and we are able to reuse different blocks for other websites. We can just simply quickly copy HTML and CSS and off we go building websites using similar block type of layouts. Now, since we're doing custom coding here, and all of our websites are developed in the same custom coding way, we are using a custom template that we have created ourselves. You don't have to use custom template, you can use a theme template. It doesn't really matter, but a home page has a home template in our specific case, but if you're using a pre-built theme, you can always create a specific template for a specific page that you're going to be using. And if we go back to the WordPress administration for this specific website, let's go do that. We're going to go to pages. We have only one page right now. Actually, we have more, but only one is filled out. You'll see that the template that we selected here is homepage. Now, a template is not a theme. Theme is an outer shell, and the template is the inner shell, I would say. So it's one layer deeper. And you can have different templates for different pages. We're going to use homepage template for this section. You can see that the header element. Actually, we'll need to bring out the website here. 1 second. Diana's massage. Going to close out of this. So this is our reference, and this is our live website. You can see that the header element over here is already created, and that's what we see here within the advanced custom fields block. So, one thing before we get going with actual coding is I'm going to inform you that we will be using advanced custom fields, and we're going to use a premium version for creating this block. So if you never used or if you're looking to use advanced custom fields together with custom coding and reusable blocks, you're definitely in the right location. Definitely not a video for somebody who wants to quickly build a website using Visual Builder. Alright, so let's get started. Now you can see that I have a container here, row, and a column 12. This is for the Bootstrap structure. And I'm actually going to bring this out into a new incognito window so that the default WordPress headers don't show. Yeah, like this. So this is what is showing up right now. We're going to need to create this layout. And first of all, before I create a layout, I'm looking at the blocks that we have. We have a header. We have subheader, we have paragraph, or 3 paragraphs, we have one central image and two supporting images. So that's the methodology that I'm going to use. I'm going to go to custom fields, and I'm going to create a new group. I'm going to title it body content BC for short, and let's give it a number. Let's do 20. I need to work on nomenclature because my names are all over the place at this time. So we're going to publish it. Now what is really important is to make sure that our page template equals to homepage. This way it will show up on the screen. And since we're doing reusable blocks, so not only we can use them, but other web development companies as well, we're going to need to create an internal container for a group here, and we're going to call this BC20. Let's just call it that. And this is going to be a group. Now inside of the group we're going to add specific fields, header and the subheader and the paragraph. Header, add field, subheader, add field, let's just call it text, add field. Actually the text has to be an editor type, because sometimes we would want to make something bold or highlight something within here, so we're going to keep it as an editor field type. And we're going to have one main image, let's just call it that. Then I'm going to select image URL, and we're going to have two supporting images. The reason why I want to keep them as separate, because I want to hide them on mobile device. We don't want to have too many pictures on a mobile device, otherwise the images take up, it would look kind of weird. We have one image, then second image, then the third image, scrolling one after another on the mobile device, so we're just going to hide them on the mobile device. This is going to be supporting image 1, supporting image 2. Okay, so we have just created a structure for our content. Let's go to pages. There we go. Body content 20. Now we can add information here. I'm not sure about you, but every time that I try to copy information from PDF, it doesn't really paste properly. You'll see that each line inside PDF translates as a line break. So that's not good. I go around it by creating an HTML document. And then I'm going to use the function of multi-cursor within the Dreamweaver. I'm going to quickly remove the line breaks like this and press a line break here. So we have 4 paragraphs, and that's not right. Oh yeah, we do have 4 paragraphs. Okay, so this needs an extra space and this needs extra space. If you know a different way of doing this, let me know. Because it does take some time to do this extra step, and I don't like to waste time. Okay, I'm going to update this. Now in terms of the images, let's just grab this image here. This is a horrible way of preparing images for a website, I know. But we're going to change the images in future anyways. So we're just going to quickly add them here like this. Let's call this 1. Usually a graphic designer would prepare all of the images for me, export them, and I will be able to quickly use them for the website, and I wouldn't have to do this. But in this specific case, I did not receive any images, so, and we'll be changing images anyways. One thing that I do want to make sure is that our images are the same height that we so crudely exported. So I'm going to go to Photoshop, going to open the app, and I'm going to give them some specific height so they're standardized. And actually this image needs to be cropped a little bit. Image kind of size, I think it's about 290, and this one 345. I think that would work. Proceed. Okay, that worked. Now let's save it as 290 by 345. To 90 by 345. Yeah, that's going to expand it. Okay, let's do, what was the original? Image canvas size 280. And now we're going to stretch it out to 90 by, and it's also going to skew it a little bit, distorted, but that's okay. Again, we're going to change images in the future. I'm going to replace that. At least the images are they're exactly the same size. Sorry for the sidetrack here, but went a little bit on a tangent. That's okay. We're going to upload the images now. and we're going to upload images. All of the three at the same time. And that's the first one, which is our main image. Subimage is this one. And subimage 2 will be this one. Yep. Okay. So if the world would be magical, then we would be done by now and would see a nice presentation here, but that's where development comes into place. And now we're going to be doing some programming to get information from here into here. And for that, we're going to definitely need our template, because we're going to create styles that match the look and feel of the website here. Alright, so we already have some initial structure here. Before we do that, I'm actually going to create a section. Section ID, let's call it BA20, or what was that, BC20, yeah. Going to paste the closing of the section here. Now BC20 is an element that will be added to our library of scripts. BC20 start. By the way, if you're interested in our library of scripts, it is available to the public, well, actually to other web developers, and we offer a subscription for $5 a month right now. Today is September 17th to 20th, but prices will increase in future, so if you want to be part of it, let me know. Email me. You have my website, webaika.com. Just go to contact here and just send me an email address that you want access to our library of scripts. It took a lot of time and development work to put it together, so you can definitely benefit from that, and you can fairly quickly assemble websites if you have the library of scripts at your disposal. So first of all, before we start anything with actual displaying of the structure, I need to make sure that we check if the group BC20 is actually there. So I'm going to run the script BC20 PHP script that checks for to see if it actually exists, and if it does, it's going to display whatever is inside of the section. You can see that this information hasn't disappeared, it's still here. If I'm going to replace BC20 with BC220, you'll see that it's going to be a mismatch, and this entire section will be removed by PHP code, and that's what this is for. Now that we are inside of our section, we're going to create a CSS section inside our styles. This is where I'm going to be adding my styles to. BC20, and that's going to be start. And the first item here is the ID BC20. And everything will really stem from the ID here, so we are doing CSS development the proper way. Everything is encapsulated inside the, well, everything follows the BC20 to make sure that we are specific on our classes and we don't interfere with, let's say, your website's CSS structure if some names do match for some reason. Okay, so massage is a header, and I think it's H1. I think we should make it H1. However, if we look at the header here, this is H1, so we really should have just one H1 on the website. This is standard text, and this is standard text. Okay, so we're going to make this into H2. The way that we're going to target H2 is like this. Actually, we're going to keep this one as is. Going to do H2. And we're going to apply styles here. Then we're going to have to create two specific columns. So the column 12 is our mobile column. It will take up the whole screen. This information here when it's on a mobile device, including the title. And it should take up half of the page on a large screen. Let's just start like this. Now I'm going to copy this and paste over here. And this is where our images will go. Just let's keep it as H2 for now. So if I refresh the page, we'll see that we have two column layout. And on a small screen, one jumps under another. So I think this is good. It's a far away from what we need it to look, but it's a start. So massage, right? Let's actually bring in some information from the advanced custom fields. I'm going to copy and reuse the scripts from the previous development that I've done. Okay, header. So let's see if that brings it over. It should say massage here. Yes, it does. Excellent. Okay, so we have header. After that we have, what do we have? Subheader. I think that would be more like H3. And we have the actual text. Now, I'm not going to add a p tag, paragraph tag here, because remember that we added it to an editor window. Because it's inside an editor window, it will add the paragraph tags automatically for us. Okay, so the second element here is the images. I'm going to remove this. Add images. Alright, so I don't have anything that I can reuse. That's okay. Image src. Echo get sub. how did we call it? Main image. Now the way that advanced custom fields works is that this is the title, it just makes it all lowercase. M and I goes lowercase, and spaces are replaced with underscores. So that's how I'm able to see what the name of each element is within the ACF without diving deep and seeing how it's programmed and what I called it. Okay, so that should bring us some image, one image. Oops, the wrong place. Okay, let's refresh this. There we go. We have a header, subheader, text, and an image. Let's add other images. Now what is interesting to note is that we have two images over here. And we'll need to space them out in this way so they do line up properly over here. So one will be aligned to the left, another one will be aligned to the right. And the alignment we can achieve by adding a structure to this. So I'll have to create a structure. So I'll need to create another row. Div class row, div class column 12. So that's where our big image will sit. But after that we also have to create class column 6 to take half of the page for the internal image. And another half of the page for the internal image, second one. Subimage 1 and subimage 2. I want to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes here. And you'll see that I could have made a mistake here by assuming that there is no space here, but there is a space here. So I'm going to replace this with underscores, the spaces, and make sure that everything is lowercase. Okay, that should work. They're not going to be aligned yet, but they will have the core structure that we need. There we go. Okay. Now that we have the structure in place, you can see that it's looking a lot more, a lot similar to what we have on our prototype. And now we need to style it. First off, I see that there is a space here. We'll need to add that. Let's go to, no, not to the footer. Let's go to here. And we're going to add margin top of 30 pixels. Even more actually. Probably like 50 pixels, if not 60. Yeah, I think this is good. Going to copy that. So really, it's all about styling right now. Sorry, wrong location. For me, I've done it so many times that it's becoming boring already. But I still do mistakes from time to time. Okay, so let's make this a lot bigger. Font size Let's make it 3em, maybe even 4em. Yeah, that looks nice. I cannot use the same font that the designer has used because they did not use the web-friendly font. Not every font can be used on the internet. So we're using something similar. Something that can be used. And this is H3. Now we don't have an H3 tag, so we're going to create one right now. And I'm going to give it font size of 2.5, I think. Yeah, let's just keep it at that. Okay, yeah, it was too big. Let's make 2. That's much better. Now we need to make it slanted. Decoration. No, that's not decoration. Font style, I think it was. Italic. Yeah, there we go. I really like the font that the designer used, but you cannot use a font that a designer used because it's simply not the right font. Cannot be used for web, unfortunately. Okay, so that is done, but we need to reduce the we need to bring it closer to the upper word. And for that we're going to modify the padding for the H2. Bottom 0. Or was it? Yeah, it's margin, it's not padding. Bottom 0. Okay, so okay, all in all, I think it looks good. The font size needs to be decreased, I think. And probably different color slightly. Because what I'm seeing in the template here doesn't look exactly black. I think it's slightly off black. So we're going to create another tag here. Call it p tag for paragraphs. That's too small. 9.5, 9.9 maybe. Yeah, I think 9.8 em. I think that looks okay. And then we're going to modify the color. And that's our black, we're going to just slightly grayish color so it matches to the pictures a little bit better. I think this is good. Okay, I think it's about time to give some margin to the images over here at the bottom. Luckily for us, Bootstrap has an option for us to fairly quickly give margin to elements, and we can do that by adding margin top 4. And I've added it to the run element. It should go here. Margin top 4. There we go. Okay, I think it looks fairly good. Sometimes people will use small images here. So we're going to keep a line right and a line left. And a line center. Now we have done all of this in hopes that it's going to look good on mobile devices, but we haven't actually tested how it looks on mobile device. So let's do that right now. We're going to reduce the screen size. Looking good so far. We've seen this first breakpoint right here. Now let's go to the next breakpoint. Massage. We have the paragraph and the 2 images looking good. Let's continue reducing the screen size. Looking good. And you know what? I think I'm just going to keep it like this. I think I'm just going to keep it like this because see how the images, they look fairly good as they are. They're mobile friendly, responsive. They shrink in size when they are squished, and you can still see everything that's here. So I think we're going to keep it just like that. So I'm going to call this small project completed. The only thing is, let's see if we can reduce the margin on the image. If we can make a border to the image. Border radius of 5 pixels. I think it looks a lot nicer with the rounded corners like that. So I'm going to add the property here to our styling. And that's going to be our last block. Look at that, we have just created just enough of the classes, I guess. Well, it's IDs, ID declarations to have all of our styles. Radius 5 pixels. And what I also like about this specific design here, okay, look at that, rounded edges, looks really nice. What I also really like about this specific section here is that we have used a minimum amount of subdivs. As you can see over here, we have that's another block over here. We have div inside another div inside another div. In here we just had one main section ID, and then we just targeted individual elements inside of it, and we're able to style everything this way very slick, very small amount CSS, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm going to save it, and I'm actually going to prepare this thing for export and add it to our library. The way that we export elements, we go to custom fields, and then we go to tools, and I simply select slider SAA export file. Now it creates a JSON file. JSON files are not able to be opened and saved in WordPress. That's why we have to send them to archive, BC20, I'm going to call it. And then in our advanced custom fields, WordPress administration, I'm going to quickly add this block. But I'm not going to show you how I'm doing that, because this is part of my proprietary development that I've done. I'll be right back shortly. Okay, so this element has been added. We're going to go to body content here, body content blocks. I'm going to scroll all the way down. And there's our block. It's a fairly simple block, but it's very elegant and very nice. As you can see, I actually just took a screenshot of the block that we have just built. And then if you click on the expand button, you have the JSON file, which is our structure for advanced custom fields. We can simply go to tools, import the file, and it will create the same structure for your website as we did. And then we have HTML, so you would copy this and go back to home page or whatever template you're using. Then you paste it, and you can see that it preserves all of the tabs, and everything looks really neat and looks really nice. I'm going to remove it because we don't want duplicate blocks here. And in terms of CSS, same thing. You'll just go back to your CSS document, you would paste it, and you'll have exact replica of the block that we have just done. So that is that. We have to summarize everything, we have created a really nice website block right here. We learned how to use advanced custom fields, how to integrate it into the website using PHP, and we also created a block that we can reuse later within our library of scripts. That would be it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. If you want to become part of our small web development community and contribute to our small library of scripts, you're more than welcome to. Again, it's $5 a month, paid annually. At least that's what it is right now. Prices will go up in future. And if you contribute a block to our content blocks, then you are entitled to get 2 months of free subscription. And that's given if we accept the block. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. You have a good day.